Number two, if you use it, make sure you get it back to 6 months level ASAP. I say 6 months because that's a minimum. I want you to have it 6 to 12 months. That will make you secure, because if you're like anything like me, Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Donald, where we talk about marketing, personal finance, entrepreneurship, and a little bit of psychology and how that all ties together. But before we get into the video, I want you to smash that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the video. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of How Money Works. We're at the third step finally. So this is out of 7 steps. So third step, emergency fund. We talked a little bit about it in the last video, so if you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. So it's basically building a little fund for you to take care of you for 6 to 12 months in case anything unexpected happens, like you get laid off, for example. So right now, I'm filming this in the middle of coronavirus pandemic, and people are getting laid off. Businesses are getting shut down for good. Some of them are getting shut down for good. They're not coming back. And on the other hand, there are some other businesses that are just getting started in the midst of this crisis, and they're going to boom. Like, I think Slack and Airbnb, for example, were started in the last global recession or depression, which was 08, 09. But since coronavirus is happening, I already know some friends who have been unfortunately laid off, and I'm not quite sure whether they have emergency funds. I would argue that they don't have emergency funds, or that the emergency fund that they have will last them 6 to 12 months. And in that case, it's really, really stressful. And I don't want you to be in that situation, because you're investing in watching these videos, getting a little bit educated. And if you want more education, just like sign up for our newsletter, and we'll be dropping off free tips and tricks and bombs on you guys, just to get you guys thinking and taking action. But let's move on. Like I said, put a little bit of money away. Actually, just invest a little each month until you got 6 months covered if anything happens. 6 to 12 months. Because I'm a risk-averse person, I have money that will stretch me for 12 months. So a year I could just take off. And if that happens, I'm just going to go fly off to a cheaper country and just hide there until I can get a gig going or figure things out. But that emergency fund is to give you guys time. To give you guys time to figure things out when worse comes to worse and you're in trouble. So that's why I like to say put a little bit of money away. So in the future, in case you need it, it's there for you. So rule number 1, the emergency fund is only for emergencies. It's not for shopping sprees, so don't go to the mall and blow it. Do not touch it unless you're fired or your kid is ill or you're dying. If you're dying, you don't need it because you have life insurance. I'm just kidding. If you're dying or if you're got into an accident and you need it, please use the emergency fund. That's what it's there for. All right. Rule number 2, if you use it, make sure you get it back to 6 months level ASAP. I say 6 months because that's a minimum. I want you to have it 6 to 12 months. That will make you secure, because if you're like anything like me, if you're risk adverse, I am very, very risk adverse. I fear risk, but I just learned to mitigate my fear with the risk. In my case, if I lose my job, for example, then I'd go to a cheaper country like Vietnam or something and live there until I can get everything figured out, and then come back. So because I know that the money in my emergency fund would stretch me 3 to 4 times longer, for example. Rule number 3, don't forget rules number 1 and 2. Now, unlike Fight Club, you talk about your emergency fund. Because you talk about your emergency fund, you get people asking what an emergency fund is, and you can just teach them things. Like how you're getting educated right now, you could educate them, and they'll be grateful, because like I said in one of the previous episodes, humans are reciprocal. That means that if you help them, they feel guilty, they feel responsible, but more guilty to return the favor. Have you ever just like gotten help from someone for whatever? It doesn't matter what it is, but you just gotten help, and then as time passes, every time you see them, you want to do something for them. You want to help them somehow to repay the favor that they did for you. Even though they don't want anything back, you just want to help them, because humans by nature, we're reciprocal. And we feel guilty if we don't reciprocate the help that we're getting. So unlike Fight Club, talk about your emergency fund. Or talk about bars of soap. Just kidding.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Talk about your emergency funds because it can really help someone. And that's why I'm talking about it to you right now. But anyways, that's where I'm gonna stop things. That's the end of the third step. In the next video, we're gonna go through the fourth and the fifth step in a combo. But before we get to that, please go down in the description below. Please join our newsletter and please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.